The most chaotic genius in human history. We've all worked with that one person who is absolutely brilliant, but you're terrified to be in the same room with them. Now, imagine that guy, but he's a nobleman, he's a billionaire by 16th century standards, he owns a private island, and he gets into sword fights over math homework. Meet Tycho Brahe, the greatest astronomer of the Renaissance, the man who laid the groundwork for modern physics, and, without question, the most chaotic human being to ever pick up a telescope. And yes, he kept a pet moose. A moose that, well, we'll get to how that ended. Before we talk about the moose, we have to respect the grind. Tycho wasn't just eccentric. Before the telescope was even invented, he mapped the night sky with a level of precision that wouldn't be surpassed for centuries. He built Uraniborg. This wasn't just a shed. It was a massive, state-of-the-art laboratory on his own private island. He was the first person to prove that stars changed, and he tracked planetary orbits so accurately that he handed the data to Kepler, which essentially gave us our modern understanding of how planets move. He's the reason we know gravity works the way it does. But the science, that was just the day job. The real story starts with a math debate in college. Tycho got into an argument with a fellow student over a formula. It got heated. They challenged each other to a duel. In the dark. With swords. Tycho lost a massive chunk of his nose in the skirmish. So, for the rest of his life, he wore a prosthetic made of gold and silver. He had a metal nose, and he never let anyone forget it. Then, there was the moose. He didn't have a dog. He had a domesticated elk, which we'd call a moose, that lived inside his house. He treated it like a lap dog. Legend has it, the moose drank too much beer at a banquet, got visibly intoxicated, fell down a staircase, and died. That is a real thing that happened to the world's leading scientist. Tycho died in 1601. The circumstances are still debated, but he lived a life that makes our modern, mad scientist, tropes look tame. We tend to view history as a straight line of serious men in wigs doing serious math. But the truth, the people who move the needle for humanity are often just as messy, unhinged, and absurd as the rest of us. If you want to dive deeper into the science he actually left behind, the math that predicted the universe, hit that subscribe button, and let me know, what's the weirdest historical figure you've ever stumbled across?